areas of air services, technology, and political dialogue. At this time, when protectionism and multilateralism are at stake, Nigeria and Brazil reaffirm their commitment to free trade and productive integration. We are committed to building a world of peace and free of hegemonic impositions. There are many synergies possibilities between the two largest black population countries in the world. Agriculture and livestock, oil and gas, fertilizers, aircraft and machinery, among others, represent broad avenues of cooperation. Increasing direct connections between Nigeria and Brazil is another essential step to deepen ties between our societies. We approved the start of a direct flight to be operated by the largest Nigerian airline, Airbus, between Lagos and São Paulo. We encourage Nigerians and Brazilians to experience the immense cultural and historical heritage that we share. It is key to further develop bilateral partnership. With its 230 million inhabitants and its immense and rich territory, Nigeria is a partner of BRICS and an important actor in the debates about the reform of global governance institutions. Nigeria has all the credentials to become a full member of the G20. We share very similar positions regarding the role of the Global South in a multipolar order. Our regions need to be adequately represented in a UN Security Council reform. We reaffirm our commitment to multilateralism with the World Trade Organization led by the Nigerian economist Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. The concern for the fight against organized crime, terrorism, and international drug trafficking was also at the center of our meeting today. One of the perverse consequences of globalization is the articulation of criminal groups beyond national borders. No country will be able to eradicate transnational crime. Criminality is evolving at an unprecedented speed, demanding urgent and coordinated action. This was the message I transmitted to the countries that are part of the Amazonian Cooperation Treaty last Friday in Bogota. Nigeria was one of the first countries to support the victorious candidacy of Brazil for Secretary General of Interpol. Still this semester, Brazil will designate a member of the federal police to act in Abuja to deepen the coordination between our countries. Strengthening public security also means protecting nature. I told President Tinubu that my commitment to zero illegal deforestation until 2030 means acting in repression of all kinds of environmental illicit activities. Nigeria also shares the urgency with which we need to fight climate change and preserve the planet's health. Africa is the region of the world that emits less greenhouse gases, but one of the most affected by the perverse consequences of global warming. I hope to count on the expressive participation of African countries in the COP30. International instruments such as the COP30 are insufficient to effectively reward the protection of forests, their biodiversity, and the people who live, care, and depend on these biomes. For this reason, I invited President Tinubu to support the Tropical Forest Fund that Brazil intends to launch during the COP30 to reward the country for the protection of tropical forests. My dear President Tinubu, my dear comrades who came from Nigeria for this small meeting with the Brazilian government, It is important that we say to the eyes of the Brazilian and Nigerian press that Brazil has a particular concern with our relationship with Africa and the whole African continent. Brazil has a notion of the meaning of our history, our culture, our way of being, our color, our joy, our music, with 350 years of slavery that African black people were subjected to here in Brazil. And the only way for us to pay cannot be measured in money. It has to be measured in solidarity. It has to be measured in political, economic, and cultural alignment. Because Brazil has to help Africa by transferring technology, by transferring knowledge, all that we have learned here in Brazil that worked. Especially in the agricultural area, Brazil has an obligation to help the African continent to have the same development that we had here. We have been thinking about this for a long time, and then it did not work. But now, President Tinubu, it may be true that your coming to Brazil today definitely means the return of Brazil to the African continent, not as a country that wants to have an hegemonic relationship with anyone, but a country that wants to have a solidary, fraternal, egalitarian relationship, thinking about the growth of the African people and thinking about the growth of the Brazilian people. Therefore, it is true that today is a very important day for me, very important for my country, and I can be sure that it will be a very important day for the history of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Well, the milestone achieved by the original President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, most of his shuttles abroad have started paying dividends for the good of our nation. Today, the bilateral air services agreement has been signed between both countries, Brazil and Nigeria. And I'm sure you heard when President Lula of Brazil said that Nigeria's largest carrier, Air Peace, has been designated to implement this BASA by running scheduled flight operations into and out of Brazil to Nigeria. So it's a milestone in the sense that the connectivity is something long overdue, and our dear President has made it possible for this to come into fruition today. It will open up both economies. The Brazilian economy is the largest in Latin America. The Nigerian economy is the largest in Africa. So both countries are very rich, both in human and natural resources. They need to tap into this. But without aviation, it will be very, very difficult for some of these things to be actualized. You know, aviation is a catalyst for further development. And today is a significant milestone that has been achieved. And we are very glad about it.
In terms of actual operations, when do we hope for you to start fully? When should Nigeria expect?
Yeah, we are looking forward to starting at about towards the last week of November into December this year.
How many flights a week?
We cannot start daily flights for now, but we want to start with three weekly flights. That's 3 flights a week for the time being. But as we go on, we develop the route and we can increase the frequency.
As in Abuja, what's the Sao Paulo? Just be specific. The route.
We told the Brazilians that we want to do Lagos, Lagos, Rio, Sao Paulo, then and back to Lagos like that. That's taking people going to both cities and dropping people in both cities before coming back to Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir, after yesterday's engagement, what are the key takeaways, the benefits of this visit?
Quite a number of takeaways. I think the first one is the fact that what has become passive over the years and the decades, we've had the president that has had the presence of mind and the commitment and the political will to reawaken and restart this process. That's President Tinubu. And we did hear President Lula da Silva actually make reference to that at the press briefing, saying some 2 decades ago, this was started and then nothing happened. And he was wondering why. We have so many commonalities, we share opportunities, and I think so. At the point we are now, I think the major takeaway is that we have Nigeria and Brazil back at the table. But more importantly, you have two leaders who have been forged in the crucible of democratic struggle. President Tinubu was jailed for challenging military dictatorship. Lula da Silva, because of the internal politics of this country, was jailed for over 1.5 years. These are democratic soldiers. They understand what it means that democracy without development comes to nothing. So we've come to a point in our history as a country, or for both countries, where I have leaders who are propelled by the same desires for development, the same desires to empower their people, the same desire to use the resources of their country to be able to push forward the South-South cooperation. And I think that's the major takeaway for me. But then there's a couple of other low-hanging fruits. We see the agricultural mechanization that has been on since 2019, now restarted this year under President Tinubu. We see the cultural exchange been coming up. And I think the biggest is the direct flight, the BASA that was signed under the Aviation. And you look at the 5 MOUs signed yesterday. They were very strategic. One for funding in agriculture, our Bank of Agriculture and the International Bank for Development from this country. That's the first MOU. The BASA, Aviation, very, very critical. Science and technology. This country's rise, this country's ability to lead the South, this country's position as the largest economy in Latin America was buoyed and supported by science and technology. And when we were at the binational yesterday, the woman in charge, she spoke about how markets have opened up, the genetics market and several other markets for this economy, and inviting Nigeria to say, this market is open for you, come join us in this market so we can go forward. So I think the MOUs were key, 5 of them, when you look at the others that have come before under the binational commission. And going forward, I think if we're able to set up a task force that will take this forward, the immediate benefits will start. Already tomorrow, we know there's an airpeace flight going to Abuja tomorrow. We know that in another 1 or 2 weeks, Lagos and Sao Paulo will just be a dash, 8 hours, 8.5 hours. These are major open skies between two countries. I think we're seeing a new vista that will energize the effort and the reform started by Mr. President in terms of diversification, in terms of opportunities for our young people. Their skills program in this country is one of the best. An MOU was signed yesterday. Another one will be signed. Smidan is here, Naseni is here. So the youth of our country already should be happy that this president is breaking the frontiers for them, not just resources within our country, but also networking across the Atlantic for the benefit of our young people. That was a long one.
Let's break it down a little bit for us. Nigerians back home are very expectant. For example, in the aviation sector, we've talked about...
What's the MOU? It's a memorandum of understanding that these two parties have an understanding that they have commonalities, they have assets, they have strengths they want to leverage on. And where one is weak, the strength of another lifts it up. So we have an aviation industry in Brazil, Latin America, that's clearly more developed than ours. But also, the partnership we have now is open skies, direct flight. We all flew here. We had 3 stops, a cumulative 19 to 21 hours. We all know that going back will take us 2.5 to 3 days. Now, that has changed. That's the power of an MOU. There's an understanding, a partnership where there are responsibilities on both sides. There are also benefits. That will improve trade, tourism, Investors will be willing to get on the plane from Lagos to come here. They can go back in another day. That's important. The other MOU we signed is on science and technology. This country has a science and technology ministry that permits agriculture, that permits automobile, that permits medicine. Based on the researches and findings, they are able to develop even their seeds. So they will now share some of this knowledge with some of this technology with our own departments and agencies as concerned. So support coming from both sides. We also have the International Bank for Development in Brazil signing an agreement with our Bank of Agriculture. And simply stated, just look at the GIP, 1.1 billion. It's focused on agri-mechanization. Look at the potentials already. 10,000 direct jobs, 5 million indirect jobs, 50,000 farming implements, and 10,000 tractors. Massive, isn't it? Now, you look at the Marco Polo buses, those massive buses for transportation, they're produced in this country. Look at the Combi buses. 50 years ago, the strongest, they're still produced there. Now they will start producing CNG-enabled buses. We've seen the chairman of presidential CNG initiative is here already. So when you look around, you have the key agency leads here. And in the last 3 days, we've seen them just fan out, not just hanging around somewhere. We've seen them go to Sao Paulo. We've seen them go to sites. I'm going to be going with the Naseni executive vice chairman today to go and look at what they're doing when it comes to solar energy, mechanized agriculture, and farm implements. So for me, I think that you look at AGOA. AGOA is African Growth and Opportunity Act. Is going to come to an end by the time we get to the United Nations in September. What then comes to Africa? Nigeria is not sitting on his hands. He's saying, let us look at the South-South cooperation. Nigeria, the largest population on the continent on this side. South America, that is Brazil, the largest in Latin America. You look at the population size, 220 million, 212 million. So a lot of complementarities. And we see the South-South coming together. There was something that President Lula da Silva said yesterday, which was significant for me. He said Nigeria already has all it takes to be a full member of BRICS. Considering, of G20, is it G20? G20. Considering that it's coming from someone who is a key player, you can see that in 2 years, President Tinubu has not only turned the radar of the global community on Nigeria in a positive sense, but that sense of the fact that you have a leader with a vision is not enough to have a vision. You must have the political will to drive your vision through. Quite a number of takeaways. I think
his shuttles abroad have started paying dividends for the good of our nation. Today, the bilateral air services agreement has been signed between both countries, Brazil and Nigeria. And I'm sure you heard when President Lula of Brazil said that Nigeria's largest carrier, Air Peace, has been designated to implement this BASA by running scheduled flight operations.
To those people who are, wait a minute. Let me start with Wole Soyinka been promised Nigerians that he's going to say something or critique Bola Tinubu administration 1 year after office, right? After he took office. Well, I guess he's doing that in a very remarkable way. Now, people don't understand what this actually means, right? When Bola Tinubu, climbed on the podium and said there's no more corruption and everything is doing well, he's not lying, as I earlier said in the morning broadcast. The guy is not lying. You understand what he's saying? Now, Soyinka, hate him or love him, is one of the biggest, most celebrated cultural icon of our time, at least coming from Nigeria. One of the biggest assets to the Western world. One of the biggest soft power arrowhead that is in the tools of the Western capitalists is this guy. So if there's anybody to make case for Bola Tinubu for a second time in the international community, this man right here he will single-handedly. I mean, I don't need to glorify him too much. When he came out and admonished Obi and the obedient, everything should be understood from there, from that angle. So Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka met with Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva on Monday in Brazil, calling for strong cultural ties between Nigeria. I mean, see why I'm in a way I'm so much confident that Bola Tinubu is winning 2027 will be so smooth and easy. Now, this is a man who is negotiating the both words. When I mean the both words, one foot in the Brazil and the BRICS, another foot with the Pentagon, with the Americans. Remember, Donald Trump does anyone that sides with BRICS is an enemy of the states. In other words, an enemy of the US dollar. It's believed that the whole BRICS is to undermine the dominance of the US dollar, which is a fact. So the guy, they go hard in terms of tariff and all that, and anyone. So, but for Bola Tinubu to be openly displaying all this with Wole Soyinka by his side and all that, means that he's doing well. Oh, this is not the first time this kind of bilateral relationship is happening. Obasanjo started it in 2005. Obasanjo was in Brazil, you know, and we all know Obasanjo now one of the, well, I don't know about Soyinka will be the face of in terms of soft power and cultural manipulation. Well, cultural icon, yes. But another man that is a tool, strong tool in the hands of the Western capitalists, Obasanjo. So, but Obasanjo have to play both games. Then followed by a predecessor, Moriah also was also on the same trip to Brazil in 2007, 2009. So I'm more convinced than ever that Tinubu victory is it will be so sweet, so solid. Because so far is as in for me, I think is has gone beyond what I'd expected. Although even though I didn't have any expectation, but I tried to have a frame, larger framework of how the government is going to turn in terms of the relationship between the elite and the base. So it's doing well. Okonja Willa was in Abuja to tell us that forget the hunger where we the shadow. The man policy so the man is playing to killing two birds with one stone, Although even though this is not a front liner for BRICS, this is pretty much two nation aligned with themselves as they then fail. So President Bola Tinubu, currently on a state visit to Brazil, had earlier held bilateral talk with Mr. Da Silva. Although Mr. Soyinka visit was private, it aligned with ongoing effort by both, which can be more private. I don't start to. There's no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence anyway. This is not a coincidence. Which kind on the private video, although aligned with ongoing effort by both government and the private sector to deepen relationship between African largest black nation and South African largest black nation too. People know they forget say outside Nigeria, Brazil has the largest population of black people, more than Ghana, more than any other Africa in the country in the continent. Anyway, during the meeting, Mr. Soyinka presented his translated book, Mito, Literature Imo Modo Africano, met literature and the African words to Mr. Da Silva. We know see all those one read for our classrooms in Nigeria, talking about today. But anyway, that's a good way of marketing. But again, it's more of a Western asset than the country that bettered him. Anyway, the literature can also emphasize cultural diplomacy as a vital tool for fostering mutual understanding and building global partnership. Mr. Soyinka later took part in a cultural renaissance event hosted by Brazilian community, further promoting Afro-Brazilian cultural exchange. They are doing well. They are doing well. Man is doing well. Tinubu is doing well. These Yoruba people, they are playing cool. They are. I give it to them though. They are managing their power well. The scandals not too day like that. The scandal just center around the White House, around the man Jagaban himself, which is okay. He can manage that. But every other offshoot of the Yoruba power, they are playing it cool. No scandal like that. So I say nah. After I don't put your nation on notice that is, we have it takes on the president a year after taking office. But 2 years later, I see them. It's engaging international, it's working for the government officially. Even though they try to talk, say, nah, a coincidence. He just happened to be there on his private visit. So it's an official duty, just like every other entourage on that visit. But again, that's the Yoruba way of doing things. I like that. I like that. So 2027, this is it. This is it. You see Onyema. Boy, these people, these people. That is the face of business elite in Nigeria. The number one businessman from the Southeast, as we speak. The face of the aviation in Nigeria. The guy don't give his
The milestone
verdict.
achieved by the regime of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Most of his shuttles abroad have started paying dividends for the good of our nation. Today, the bilateral air services agreement.
So you see how these people they play this game. How this Nigerian governing elites, they are not. They don't say the North. That one is covered. But the spokesperson for this government, the spokesperson for this government happen to be from the Southeast. It is not a fucking coincidence that Onyema happened to be one of those guys and Okonjo-Iweala, who are making a very, very solid case for Bola. Oh my word. They are making a case, right? So no matter what Obi they do, whoever is condemning the policies of government, his own brothers and sisters who are well respected in that part of the country, by the way, I say Obi, pipe down. This man is doing well. But people don't seem to see that. They don't seem to see that 2027 is already history.
Has been signed between both countries, Brazil and Nigeria. And I'm sure you heard when President Lula of Brazil said that Nigeria's largest carrier, Air Peace, has been designated to implement this BASA by running scheduled flight operations into and out of Brazil to Nigeria. So it's a milestone in the sense that the connectivity is something long overdue, and Our dear president has made it possible for this to come into fruition.
I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous, man, at this point. Eh? Obi is the biggest critic of this government policy. It now happened that the biggest beneficiary of the policy are his own brothers and sisters. Like, make it make sense. Oh, well, make it make sense. They are not in the government directly, but they are the biggest beneficiary. So how do you make case against that? That's exactly what Bola Tinubu is doing. Obi to the road in mind, talking anyhow. Yeah, we will bring your brothers home. They earn it. I mean, Onyema, by his business acumen, is the number one aviation guy in the country. Give it to him. But of course, it's not just just started today. He was the number one aviation guy in Nigeria 5 years ago, but now they complain every day during Buhari administration. They were complaining every day. So people should pay attention to the two differences. Why what Tinubu is doing, Onyema and Iwela are doing is very, very important and significant. When Buhari did power, in fact, they were letting you airline. just in fact, it doesn't exist. Onyema was struggling, even though he was overdoing. He was doing everything to remain visible. They moved Nigerians away from face of danger, whether from South Africa or from Ukraine, Russia, Gaza. See, this opportunity, they're not giving this opportunity. Instead, they go to paint another flight. They want to start their own Nigerian airway. But Tinubu could easily do that. They get billionaires already around them. We easily do the same thing. They could easily start their own airline. But no. When this man, let's make him the face of the. I love politics, man. No, go well, and so she carry her two left leg. She could have just decided she could just tweet, speak through her numerous media aids, or grant an interview, go on a podcast, do some, no. Then make sure say she touched down. She can. I say, madam, go. Now message we send you. This is not there. This is serious. Go. I want you to come to the center of the action. Go to Abuja there, sit with the president and face the nation. Let them tell the nation that this is the right man for the job. He's doing excellently well. These are not made up speeches or appearances or no. These motherfuckers are actually making it. The very investors are making it. During Buhari time, airline no fit comot their money for Nigeria. So when Bola Tinubu stand in front of Brazilians and Nigerians say, come, no more corruption and everything is going well, it's not just saying it. It's not just campaigning. He's actually backing it up. Everything he said over there, he backs it up. This is a testimony that are coming from private sectors in Nigeria, which is what our country is predicated on. Open market, which is the book government call free market economy. as if when in the end they say free, it's free for the billionaires. The roadblocks have been clear for the billionaires, so come around wild. That's what it means free. Don't be say free for poor people we don't get where their minimum wage is not even up to eat breakfast. Well, I would say by now people will understand how this game works, man. That's nothing to do about the ordinary people. They're big time.
Today. It will open up both economies. The Brazilian economy is the largest in Latin America. The Nigerian economy is the largest in Africa. So both countries are very rich, both in human and natural resources. They need to tap into this. But without aviation, it will be very, very difficult for some of these things to be actualized. You know, aviation is a catalyst for further development. And today is a significant milestone uh, that has been achieved, and we are very glad about it.
In terms of actual operations, when do we hope for you to start fully? When should Nigeria
Yeah, we are
expect?
looking forward to starting at about towards the last week of November into December this year.
How many flights a week?
We cannot start daily flights for now, but we want to start with three weekly flights. That's 3 flights a week for the time being. But as we go on, we develop the route and
How long will it take before Obi go take direct flight from Nigeria to Brazil? I'm laughing because as if I'm seeing it happening. Obi go take flight from Lagos to Sao Paulo. This is not just a pipe dream. This is not say we are starting it. The man say flight is the takeoff. That means if flight is taking off this week, that means ticket has already been sold.
can increase the frequency.
In Abuja, what's the Sao Paulo? Just be specific. The route.
We told the Brazilians that we want to do Lagos, Sao Paulo. I mean Lagos, Rio, Sao Paulo, then and back to Lagos like that. That's taking people going to both cities and dropping people in both cities before coming back to Nigeria.
Ibo Kwenu. This is his number one song. Guy. Oh, I don't know. Plus I could go I will go Boston. I think Onyema should be there. Obi should be there too, if I'm not mistaken. But this is so my political family. This is it. So when I thought say Bola Tinubu hasn't done anything wrong, that is will win again. You see, I'm not just saying it because for saying sake. These are the signs and wonders. These are the signs and wonders. You can't make this up, man. You can't make this shit up. That is breakthrough that Bola Tinubu just did with this trip to Brazil. The number one benefit, the first beneficiary of this breakthrough na earpiece, Iyama, Obi brother. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. They just can't make this shit up. Okay. To say that a week ago, one of the Obi biggest supporter, Okonjo Iweala, the illustrious daughters of Southeast, the number one daughter, came out. Don't be say she knows. This came out now understatement. It was live in Bola Tinubu's bedroom, Aso Rock. That's his house. Everywhere for Aso Rock, na Bola Tinubu's bedroom, and then any other room. She was right there, face the whole world. That this man right here, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a genius. Literally, as the guy. That everything he has done. When the man said, I will hit the ground running, he did it. He hit the ground and he took off. And Okonjo Iweala came out 2 years into that race and said, this man is on pace. Tick every box set by those that put him there. I can't make this shit up, man.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank
Okay. Sir, after yesterday's engagement, what are the key takeaways, the benefits of this visit?
Quite a number of takeaways. I think the first one is the fact that what has become passive over the years and the decades, we've had a president that has had the presence of mind and the commitment and the political will to reawaken and restart this process. That's President Tinubu. And we did hear President Lula da Silva actually make reference to that at the press briefing, saying some 2 decades ago this was started and then nothing happened. And he was wondering why. We have so many commonalities, we share opportunities, and I think so. At the point we are now, I think the major takeaway is that we have Nigeria and Brazil back at the table. But more importantly, you have two leaders who have been forged in the crucible of democratic struggle. President Bola Tinubu was jailed for challenging military dictatorship. Lula da Silva, because of the internal politics of this country, was jailed for over 1.5 years. These are democratic soldiers. They understand what it means that democracy without development comes to nothing. So we've come to a point in our history as a country, or for both countries, where I have leaders who are propelled by the same desires for development, the same desires to empower their people, the same desire to use the resources of their country to be able to push forward the South-South cooperation. And I think that's the major takeaway for me. But then there's a couple of other low-hanging fruits. We see the agricultural mechanization that has been on since 2019, now restarted this year under President Bola Tinubu. We see the cultural exchange been coming up. And I think the biggest is the direct flight, the BASA that was signed under the Aviation. And you look at the 5 MOUs signed yesterday. They were very strategic. One for funding in agriculture, our Bank of Agriculture and the International Bank for Development from this country. That's the first MOU. The BASA, Aviation, very, very critical. Science and technology. This country's rise, this country's ability to lead the South, this country's position as the largest economy in Latin America was buoyed and supported by science and technology. And when we were at the Binational yesterday, the woman in charge, she spoke about how markets have opened up, the genetics market and several other markets for this economy, and inviting Nigeria to say, this market is open for you, come join us in this market so we can go forward. So I think the MOUs were key, 5 of them, when you look at the others that have come before under the Binational Commission. And going forward, I think if we're able to set up a task force that will take this forward, the immediate benefits will start. Already tomorrow, we know there's an airpeace flight going to Abuja tomorrow. We know that in another 1 or 2 weeks, Lagos and Sao Paulo will just be a dash, 8 hours, 8.5 hours. These are major open skies between two countries. I think we're seeing a new vista that will energize the effort and the reform started by Mr. President in terms of diversification, in terms of opportunities for our young people. Their skills program in this country is one of the best. An MOU was signed yesterday. Another one will be signed. Smidan is here, Naseni is here. So the youth of our country already should be happy that this president is breaking the frontiers for them, not just resources within our country, but also networking across the Atlantic for the benefit of our young people. That was a long one.
Let's break it down a little bit for us. Nigerians back home are very expectant. For example, in the aviation sector, we've talked about...
What's an MOU? It's a memorandum of understanding. That these two parties have an understanding that they have commonalities, they have assets, they have strengths they want to leverage on. And where one is weak, the strength of another lifts it up. So we have an aviation industry in Brazil, Latin America, that's clearly more developed than ours. But also, the partnership we have now is open skies, direct flight. We all flew here. We had 3 stops, a cumulative 19 to 21 hours. We all know that going back will take us 2.5 to 3 days. Now, that has changed. That's the power of an MOU. There's an understanding, a partnership where there are responsibilities on both sides. There are also benefits. That will improve trade, tourism. Investors will be willing to get on the plane from Lagos to come here. They can go back in another day. That's important. The other MOU we sign is on science and technology. This country has a science and technology ministry that permits agriculture, that permits automobile, that permits medicine. Based on the researches and findings, they are able to develop even their seeds. So they will now share some of this knowledge with some of this technology with our own departments and agencies as concerned. So support coming from both sides. We also have the International Bank for Development in Brazil signing an agreement with our Bank of Agriculture. And simply stated, just look at the GIP, 1.1 billion. It's focused on agri-mechanization. Look at the potentials already. 10,000 direct jobs, 5 million indirect jobs, 50,000 farming implements, and 10,000 tractors. Massive, isn't it? Now, you look at the Marco Polo buses, those massive buses for transportation, they're produced in this country. You look at the Combi buses, 50 years ago, the strongest, they're still produced there. Now they will start producing CNG-enabled buses. We've seen the chairman of presidential CNG initiative is here already. So when you look around, you have the key agency leads here. And in the last 3 days, we've seen them just fan out, not just hanging around somewhere. We've seen them go to Sao Paulo. We've seen them go to sites. I'm going to be going with the Naseni executive vice chairman today to go and look at what they're doing when it comes to solar energy, mechanized agriculture, and farm implements. So for me, I think that you look at AGOA. AGOA is African Growth and Opportunity Act. Is going to come to an end by the time we get to the United Nations in September. What then comes to Africa? Nigeria is not sitting on his hands. He's saying, let us look at the South-South cooperation. Nigeria, the largest population on the continent on this side. South America, that is Brazil, the largest in Latin America. You look at the population size, 220 million, 212 million. So a lot of complementarities. And we see the South-South coming together. There was something that President Lula da Silva said yesterday, which was significant for me. He said Nigeria already has all it takes to be a full member of BRICS. Considering, of G20, is it G20? G20. Considering that it's coming from someone who is a key player, you can see that in 2 years, President Bola Tinubu has not only turned the radar of the global community on Nigeria in a positive sense, but that sense of the fact that you have a leader with a vision is not enough to have a vision. You must have the political will to drive your vision through.
There is no hardship in Niger State.
This is one aspect to also look at this Bola Tinubu trip is the cash that is going to come in at the right time, I should say. In politics, politics have two currencies, votes and money. But money buy everything, including votes. Listen to
in
this.
Niger State. What used to be the price of food? What is the price of food today? So significantly, people just say that because we are not talking. And that's why I've taken the responsibility.
I go to the market.
No, to drive.
I go to the market.
Yes. How much is the bag of rice today?
Oh, it's still expensive.
It's not expensive.
It is.
How much is minimum wage? We've doubled your minimum wage. Triple.
Relative.
Minimum wage used to be 30,000. Now it's 18,000.
Double your minimum. We double your minimum wage. Who be una? Who be we? By what? Double your. how much we will contribute to this devolution of the minimum wage? Now money
is 70.
No, in Niger State is 80,000. This is how we're paying.
You made it 80,000.
But state and local government, yes. So we've done a lot. The reform of the president, my father, Aswaju is my father, and I'm proud to say it everywhere. But I will tell you, I have taken it as a responsibility to become the Director General of the Aswaju campaign for 2027. And that is why the turnout of voters for the by-election was massive.
It was.
People are happy. We've built their roads, they are secured, nobody terrorizes them again, and they're happy. And this place used to be, governed by terrorists, but now we are peacefully living. The people are excited. They've gone back to their farms, production has increased, they have inputs from the farm, everything is working.
So what do you
But you see, when you have economic policies, the shock will come in. But it depends on how you also adjust. So the adjustment is what people don't want to say. And that is why we need to educate people. Did Aswaju spoil the schools? No, he's trying to fix them. Did he spoil the hospitals? No, he's trying to fix them. Did he spoil the roads? No. So when somebody is coming as a Mr. Fixer to fix the economy, I think Nigerians should come and support him. And let me tell you, we have an unwritten understanding that power devolves from the north to the south. Unless somebody is an enemy of Nigeria, you will not want to truncate that arrangement.
But as a clamor in the north, you know about
it will not happen. It will not happen.
Why won't it happen?
Because we'll drive it. It will not happen. We'll make people understand. The South will do its 8 years.
Because what the north is clamoring about, by the way, is that his policies are not favoring the north.
How?
Even though
Well, let me tell you something. I'm from the north. I'm a governor from the north.
Yeah, you are.
The policy of the president is working. I have so much money that I'm doing a lot. I'm fixing the roads, I'm building bridges, I'm doing 1,000 kilometers of road. And it has not stopped. If the policies were not working, I won't get this money. I have farms that are working. Right now, no, hold on. I'm going to Brazil with the president. I'll meet him in Brazil. We're taking out of the 2.5 billion US dollars that Brazil is bringing, 1.2 is coming to Niger State for livestock.
All right.
And what I want you to pay attention to that 2.1 billion. How many 2.1 billion is coming to Nigeria?
Kilometers of road. And it has not stopped. If the policies were not working, I won't get this money. I have farms that are working. Right now, no, hold on. I'm going to Brazil with the president. I'll meet him in Brazil. We're taking out of the 2.5 billion US dollars that Brazil is bringing, 1.2 is coming to Niger State for livestock.
All right.
So what are you talking about?
All right.
1.2 is 1.2. We're talking about $1 billion. And when I say Bola Tinubu will win the next election, this money is coming at the right time. Part of Okonjo-Iweala visit, part of what she said is that Bola Tinubu should start doing the other part of the agreement, which is sharing money for the base, the poor people. That will be done legitly close to the election period. So these people are not fucking around.
We'll leave it there. Maybe your state.
Every state is
How about the other states?
See, as the Director General, the time will come that I'll bring out the report card of every state.
All right.
And I will tell them what we have given them, what they are doing.
That time will come and we'll hold you accountable to what you have said. Mohammed Bago, the governor of Niger State, declared himself the DG of President Bola Tinubu's 2027 campaign with Niger State
as the headquarters.
As the headquarters.
Yes.
The reform that I've embarked upon since I took over in Nigeria has been very impactful. I can beat my chest for that. It was initially painful, but today the result is blossoming. It's getting clearer to the people. We have more money to the economy. No more corruption. We have the governor of Central Bank here. You don't have to know him before you get the foreign exchange that you need. The speculators are out in our currency market. The door is open for businesses. Easy in, easy out.
Is the president lying? Oh my, let's be serious. Your auntie, they say your auntie to come and tell Nigerians that all the policies are doing, he carried that is doing well, are working well. I'm talking about none other person by Okonjo-Iweala, right? Okonjo-Iweala came to come to tell us Nigerians that Tinubu is doing well. So if Tinubu go to Brazil and re-echo what Okonjo-Iweala, who is in a better position to actually to know if the economy is working or not? That's confirmed it. Now the concern. I'm sure you are very proud of your president. Me, uh, I think one thing you need to understand that people like me and you, we don't get any influence. So the best we can do is to analyze exactly what is going on. No, from day one, I don't know if you go back to Dr. Damage, I remember the first show for the year. I said it. Tinubu government is not for Nigerian. It's for the rich. The rich will get richer while the poor will get poorer. This I know from day one. So why when the thing will come they play out, you expect me to be I will cry? No. He's doing more than I actually expected he will be allowed to do. So Okonjo-Iweala, who is in a better position than me and you, who people that put Tinubu there are the same people that employ her. You understand? So people that put Tinubu in the office employ Okonjo-Iweala. So they said Okonjo-Iweala to come and tell us that Tinubu is doing well. Like the policy that we thought is putting Nigeria in a hardship, they're actually good. Who am I to argue with her? Right? Now, Obi is the biggest critic of this government. Rightly so. Right? Obi is rightly doing what he's supposed to do. He's the biggest critic. But please, Omoye, explain it to me. Right? Why Obi is busy punching holes. Not that Obi is not even need to work hard. Everything that is pointing out to us are real. But the same people who are at the forefront of the obedient movement, or who you expect to actually support Obi more than me and you in terms of anything, they have the reach, they have the money, they have the connection. I'm talking about Okonjo-Iweala and this man. Let me show you one man that you like. That confirmed that Bola Tinubu is doing well. Make you know I don't know why you think that may be the problem. Look at this man right here. This man. This is a man who is the illustrious son of the Southeast. Which is any person that is in a position to support to be that any other person, I be shit. My bad. This man right here. If there is one person that is in a better position to do what you are accusing me of, that be this man. Oh, yeah. Why are you wasting valuable time? I'm not analyzing Tinubu's success. I am telling people out there that the 2027 election is already won. And if you are asking me how, this is what I'm analyzing. This is how the 2027 election is going to be. This is it. You are seeing. Billions are coming in from overseas. What do you think that money is for? At this time, just do the calculation. But at the same time that Obi step up his criticism of this government, they send his own brother and sister to come and say, Obi, shut up. What you are saying is not the reality. That Tinubu is doing well. So that is what I'm just pointing out. I'm not analyzing. I'm not in position. But Tinubu don't need anybody to analyze their policy for them. You understand? Okonjo-Iweala is doing it. Onyema is doing it. People are more qualified than me.
Achieved by the original President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Most of his shuttles abroad have started paying dividends for the good of our nation.
You don't need to explain to me,
Today,
yeah.
the bilateral SFCs agreement has been signed between both countries, Brazil and Nigeria. And I'm sure you heard when President Lula of Brazil said that Nigeria's largest carrier, Airpeace, has been
So that's not me. That's Onyema. You're right. He's a businessman. He's doing business in Nigeria. He has more skin in the game than me and you. He's singing praise of the president. It's not just singing praise. He's going to back the president campaign with billions. Me and you no get. I only know will make. So I'm not analyzing Tinubu's going. I'm letting Nigerians know that this is how the game works. Yeah, they don't care about the other Nigeria. We no count. You are totally right. They all work for the globalists, and the globalists are our problem. Obi2 is one of their students. Both Obi, both Tinubu, they are all they are all candidates of the globalists. Unless you know understand that to that level. They all work for the same organ. They don't work for Nigerians. Obi always brag how he used big gate money well during his governorship time, but people don't see that. He brags how he carries to go back, give back to missionaries. Nobody. These are all globalist tendencies in which they used to put us where we are today. And you sit here and accept that TPN will destroy Nigeria. Here. I know say you guys. I know just you now understand how this system they work. I accept that. What thing I go do? This is a money business. This is a money game. I don't have money to mobilize or to arrange. So the best I can do is to analyze, make people see how the real game is played. It's not for me to accept what I cannot accept. What have you do? What have you do now? I'm not there yet. What have you do now? They do now. Educate the people. As I know that nothing happened in this world that is coincidence. Wole Soyinka is one of the biggest cultural icon from Nigeria. Now the globalists put up for that position. He was in Brazil. He was in Brazil. This is a man that said that he will have a say. He will go talk about Tinubu 1 year. Oh shit. That 1 year he will give you a report of Tinubu administration. See, 2 years later, he did Brazil, they collect they facilitate. So if there's anybody, if you are still there, this is again the point I'm trying to point out. That if there's anybody that is in a better position to make case for Bola Tinubu second term to the international community is Wole Soyinka, and that's exactly what you see him doing. So that is what I'm pointing out. So just to understand how the game works, say all of them is a game, right? This if there's anybody to make case for Bola Tinubu to the globalists, it's right here. It was in Brazil with Tinubu. Explain that to me. So before you go accuse innocent me, just give me benefit of that and listen to my analysis. My analysis is not to say this, to just say this is how this thing is working. So Onyema businessman in business, even as in do rich for Nigeria during Buhari, nobody said they don't give her recognition. So I agree. This is how this works. It's question, what are you doing about it? This is what I'm doing. I'm educating people. Not be just because me and you know say this is how the game works, means everybody know. That's the mistake we are also making. You understand? Just because me and you are privileged to be seeing things from a different angle, from a different perspective, based on the opportunity that is available to us, right? We are in a position, in a place whereby how we go chop, where we go walk, where we go sleep, where those are not be our problems. So we are able to focus and see things for what it is. So not be everybody if you do see her like that. So that's my job. My job is to say, come on. I'm a Nigerian. I once live in Nigeria. I know how they see things. I know how I believe things they work. Now I have an opportunity to know better. It's just for me to now say, so call my people. Forget all these men who they're all working for the same master. So that's what I'm doing. That makes Konkoso part of the global. Of course. Why it is here? I know this. I know the clear for this time around. I was thinking that he is now local champion. Say now like my governor, Monday Paolo. Village man. That's what I thought it was, but unfortunately, I've been proved wrong. So why is I not supporting this time? So the more I find out who any candidate is, the more I present her that way. So I don't be. Why is I never support anyone this time around? If you remember, last election by now, I've made it clear where I'm headed. But this time around, I find out that they are all the same. They all work for the same organ. So yeah, I'm on the Pablo Nasi village man right now. That's what I like. I like village people. You know, all these people wait to go school. All this in that. All of us waiting in diaspora. We know too much, so we they misbehave. All of us they misbehave. So I know they trust anybody way to. And they like villagers. You know, they say Akwa will never enter fly. Never use our money buy tickets come abroad. Since you know the government. I like that. If that's the only money you save for us, I like them. You understand? So everybody must get Oga. So you get Oga in at their house boy. I agree. But that local boy, he never travel go anywhere with our money. I love that. EPO was part of them. They will not keep funding opposition against him. Oh my yeah. Take your time to go and study the expose of USAID. Just take your time. They don't do Nigeria since 1963. Go take. There's a lot contained in the expose. Go study and make you. Then they sponsor everybody. Okay. That's how the game works. How they go take put the Bola Tinubu on his toes? When Okonjo-Iweala come, now two things in talk, but now one thing nine media focus on. One part is he praised Tinubu for the policies, right? Obvious. The other part is the silent part when he was saying that he should implement the other side of the policy, which is the cash flow, where they go to send money, give families, if you remember. But this time around, there's a caveat. She was specifically about women. Women, there is a fund that is allocated for women. That containing a message to Tinubu. So Tinubu, just wait. Few months to election, that money they go begin to cash transfer. Legally, they go say not legal because that's what the IAF want them to do. It's part of the how they take in terms of thinking about they go to support the opposition, they support the other side too, right? So they gave policy that 100% benefit their business people, which is the float of the Naira subsidy removal, because not be poor people area of specialty and big men they run all this thing. Part of the trip that Bola Tinubu went for in Brazil is to bring them Petrobras. Petrobras now oil company will be in Nigeria and they operate for now Brazil national company, just like our NPC. Part of them to come back, right? So the other side of is that they know that policies are draconian. That policy will affect the poor people. They know. So they also give them money to share. Now be the 5,000 they're going to share for household. That is how these people operate. So everybody get role. Okay, let's say I agree, say he is part of the globalists. Perhaps he is a benevolent one. What can I say? I beg, make people enter since there is no revolution happening anytime. No, I totally agree with you. I agree with point you make, right? Yes, he is part of them, but he could be, from use your word, with benevolence. Of course, you don't expect him, Obi will come and be doing things the way Tinubu is doing his own thing. Obi is not going to. Okay, let me put it this way. If Obi be president today, now I tell you what I think Obi will do. Like what he will do. Everything that he's saying, he will act it out. Like now, when I mean act it out, Obi will be more accessible to the people. Obi go from maybe one party to another. What I mean party now, maybe one village, and like Obi will be, but that is not enough. That's not what we need. We need economic freedom. It's just like my husband called the Toshi, they speak grammar for you, right? But another guy, they spoil you with gifts. You make sure say your house rent is paid. You make sure say your stomach, everything that you need, that money can actually do, he's there doing it for you. That's the difference. Which one do you prefer? Let's be realistic. The matter English why they speak for a grammar, I'm going to tell you, can only go far. So that is the difference between these two people. Obi is not going to be arrogant and materially up in your face like this way these people they do them. For sure, you not going to do that one. It'll be normal. If that's a word. Yeah. I think Otonye, I don't know why they mistake you with Otonye. My problem, my problem with Obi. I'm not going to say a problem because I think I don't expect him to actually do more than what he's doing now. He has so much at stake. You understand? So he cannot do more than he's doing now. Question you should ask yourself, why is it that the whole Nigeria will not get one of these leaders that is actually vocal against the IAM policy, this foreign policy? Why? Yes, economic freedom is what we desperately need. And if we all know what we are doing, what we must demand. So that's that all these leaders we don't come out. Let's forget them. There's nothing they can do. They are all compromised. It's, in a way, nobody say they blame them, but I go blame them because they are adults. Everybody will have to sleep with the choice he or she has made. They have decided to sleep with the devil. They have to bear it. They are all compromised. So it's very hard for me to know they call the support person. That's my problem. So I am looking for. I'm not even actually looking for any leader because it's like a wasting of time. But as you said, we have to educate and demand from ourselves. This is where to go. And we cannot be successful at that if we tie to a leader. Especially when we know this leader, there's nothing he or she can do. His eyes are tied. So you understand? All these leaders, the show one is the youngest among them, all of them are the same. They actually say again, and then the same time they sponsor show. So they have to keep the the confusion balance. But how you go know the presidents who are all in or one leg in is their policies? How if they are 100%, just like if you look at during Buhari time, right? You could argue now in second time. He locked all the borders. He said everybody must eat your local food. That is a policy that is against the globalist policy. Because globalist policy don't want the local people to do local things. They don't want the economy to belong to the local people. They don't want the activities of the economy to belong to the local people. You understand? But people did not see that. Then again, ask yourself, how is it that Buhari, as we all know, Now during time now they killing young people pass. When I mean young people, Katsina State as it his own Katsina State. Then the military drum bomb. They go say now they make mistake. Those are not mistakes. Why? Because then they give up, say, come, this is not what we say you should do. You are not doing this. This is what you are going to get. So if Obi come into power too, these are the sacrifice that is before him. How many of his people can he sacrifice if he decides to say, okay, now that I'm in power, I'm going to against your policy. I am going to do for my people what my people didn't deserve. They go first of all freeze an account for Panama first. They go freeze them. So all these things, the same. So Bola Tinubu now he has to do everything they want because him too is compromised. all their businesses, their life is abroad. All our leaders, their family, they don't live with us. So we must demand for economic freedom, but without having a leader inside. Because at this point, we don't get leader. Any leader that come with such a policy, I swear, you know, go hear them again. If Obi come out and make a speech towards that, you know, go hear them again. They're not gonna give us state. They're not gonna give a platform again. He go they beg to come and rise. They're not gonna pick him for. They're not gonna pick him call. They know. So we are in a situation whereby I don't know. I don't know, but the Islamic movement, now then they actually fight the Western capitalists, even though themselves they are not better off, right? They are not better off. So that's where the country we did, the Nigeria as a whole, but we go suffer too. So the idea of support. We never reach where with the support person. The only support we have to do na local. As I'm trying to reduce my support na local, that's not my power. So when you see me supporting Okpeholo, me supporting Okpeholo is to say it all to all the Unawe no to no book. All the so-called educated people, grammarians, expertise that have been governing our country and our state for the past 60 years. What do we have to show for it? Darkness, light we no get, food we no feed ourselves, we no govern ourselves. And you're not expecting me to keep supporting one food because it's a bit speak English, because the person na economics, na doctor, na lawyer, na engineer. He went to Harvard, London School of Economics, Oxford. Fuck that. I've had enough. I want person who don't know anything. Mumu. Make it be our president, make it be our leader. People go sit down and think that grammar where would they speak now be our problem. All this English, we want to do the way of the West. That's what put us where we are. That's why the old people, them Buhari, them by Tinubu, they use our brain. Because we know they think we are all gone out of our reality. We are all delusional. We are all delusional. We think say to the understand and go with the mainstream is the way to. No, the majority of us are still living in the bush. The majority of us, I'm talking about it, the majority of us are still taking a shit in the forest. They see the shit on top stone, on top rock. Come on, me and you come for where rock, full everywhere. Our people shit a shit for rock. 60 years after we don't get independent, and we give the country to people who are educated, who went to school, who are exposed, who are experts. A majority of us are still defecating, going through a public defecation. And you expect me make I support one person because the person can articulate, can speak English, he is a banker, no, fuck you. So when I hear, I don't know Monday before, I don't know for me, I don't know Paulo, but when I listen to Abati and then Ruben one ridiculous say because he knows that, that's my candidate right there. Because unless we are not paying attention, Donald Trump is the president today not because of the same sentiment. Majority of the people are forgotten. Oh yeah, you live in California. And should they come out for your house, they go work, you will see people, they shit for road, everywhere they smell. That's the state is governed by educated people. So education today, useless. It no work for us. We've been educated for too long and we cannot even govern ourselves. The difference between human being and other animal is that human being can come together in their tens and thousands and millions and build something, build cities, build car, build computer, build. We know if we do, and we could not even build a conducive environment for ourselves, and we claim to be educated. Nah. So now, what it make me the support Monday be that? No, because no. I still want him to come back. I want the educated one. Make them the verse. They go verse, okay, they go die. That's what I want. Make them the verse. How where they day without their education, illiterate they can't impose them. If you see they complacent and the rig election, then what is the point of your education when an illiterate go rig election for your president? Why did you go to school? You don't learn anything with that now. You say, oh, the rig. Where you there when they rig them? You they busy, they speak English, they analyze that they rig them. It's a competition. Really, you are so educated, you are so advanced in your thinking, but you cannot rig. I know when people say no, they shame. they rig the election. Like, are you not ashamed of yourself? They are still going to rig 2027. You know, I know. Me and you know there's nothing if there because nobody will swear. Nobody will feel swear with poison. Say they no go rig 2027 election. We all know. What are we doing about it? Will they analyze and speak grammar? Electoral reform. Electoral reform for what nonsense. And so I try to tell them Ferrari and say, come, this delay far to me journey, I don't understand. Though. Only you go to say we no be citizen. But you want us to reform election to participate. Like, I'm confused. Something is not right. Like, we know this game say no be by book. They know they follow book. They don't follow the rules. Then why do you expect us to do the same thing? The same that's why I was trying to on the show that day. They say yeah, Bello be legislature they bend down for her. He bought them with money. So why are you complaining? Go and raise money and patch your own house of member too. Mokuna they compete. If you buy 10 house member state assembly for Edo, I buy 10. No be competition with that. But if I buy, you no buy, you can't complain. You go complain tire. See, there's not way all this injustice, all these things will stop. If we see the approach because we go school, we are intelligent, we are educated. It's not gonna stop. I'm on Miami and you there America now. You don't see MAGA. They are ready. Anyhow you want to, you want to see this election, like they are ready to lay down. So all this one with the leader will come tell us, do this. We are deceiving ourselves. We never reach. The summer never reach them. The summer they increase because the world is changing. We are already in World War III. So it's not going to get better. So, it's not me. Me, no, they support. I'm not in a position. How many follow I get? See, 1,000. Out of that 1,000 people I get, maybe now only 3 people go feed in Nigeria if you vote. I want to support one candidate. I am not in position. We should stop saying this to ourselves because anybody try to analyze things from one angle, say this or no. I don't get. They're not going to even give me money to support themselves because my reach is not there. To say that Nigeria there, I get 1,000 followers for Nigeria, that's a different case. I don't forget money to mobilize votes. So I am not in position to support anybody. And nobody going to even pay me to support them because what is my value? Let's face it. All of us were there online. Even those platforms will get 100,000 followers, subscribers. How many percent of those people will actually vote? So we don't have that much influence. So our influence is just to keep talking for tomorrow's sake. Because the easiest way to get that influence is just to keep going. So when people talk say, oh, you don't collect money, I just laugh. These people don't operate like that. They know they operate like that, especially we also the diaspora. We know be there. We have they know they fear us by any means of it. Nothing. So the system is conk. Like all of us are compromised. Every one of us. Today, if you become governor of Edo State, there's little you can do. Why? Because you don't to stay for America. You don't to stay. You don't leave your DNA for some places. They go follow. so when are they see are they focus on local people? Local people. That's what I mean. We are all gone. We are compromised. It's unfortunate, but that's what it is. Until we have to accept our reality, we have to accept our own contribution of this nonsense. When the family they abroad, you say I am no they I know they travel. No, I'm talking no. That one I see. Just say today now. One they won't travel as a governor, as a sitting governor. You won't travel from America. Regardless of anything, official or not official. Do you know how many million of taxpayer money go do that trip? Now, I am not saying he's not going to do it tomorrow, or you know go do it next tomorrow. But as far as we are concerned, how many months or years into his admission, he hasn't done it. So I have to give him that. He get family for sure. Everybody, not one day. But as a governor, I never hear say he won't come visit his family. That alone is a start. As you talk, we have to start demanding for something. We must start demanding. So if me and you agree that half of our problem, I'm not saying that all our problem come from abroad. If half of our problem is engineered from outside, then if now that one will feel close, Moku knows that one first. Imagine say half of Edo people know say we they vote for Monday do because in a village person, go feed they do not abroad travel because he has nothing, coming to abroad no value us. Guess what? People who won't go contest for that position go they think twice. They go they think twice before they will commit themselves either abroad. That is the demand I see that you are asking for. He they visit the family, but we never hear him official say he want. Like, me and you day where we go hear say Obaseki the whole Edo people whatever in Houston. Edo, Benin people, whatever in London. So that's what I mean. I don't know. I know go travel now. No be gamma be. They get search. They do all. Not be saying they steal money. Not be saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's no. I am person that I will judge you by what I'm seeing. He hasn't left Nigeria in the name of as a governor yet. Not to my notice. If you bring it to me. We have to demand for a but we have to start from somewhere. As we talk, the one way me and you get power now, we go feel the attack. That's why he does it. My voice, it's too small to the drag Tinubu. Tinubu presidential business is a $1 billion business. Let's face it. So that's why I advocate for state autonomy. I am too broke to the run my mouth for national level. No, it's a $1 billion business. It's a $1 billion business. And no governor I see is still in the millions. And our turn will not be children. The guy will be my MC during my wedding. Will MC for my wedding. The guy in a status of assembly, and I represent my community as elected status of assembly. So this is not the matter of me why I'm going to complain again. I'm also part of the problem. So, but I am somebody that is advocating for one state autonomy. This idea I have to look for Abuja, I have to look for Benin for me to be able to live my life in my village is ridiculous. This is 2025. Nobody to do that. Two, the last 4 years of administration we get, that guy won't connect us to internet by every necessary. People never see job food. You say me that they go do internet. Like he was all in the globalist agenda. I remember during COVID, those states was pretty much the information center of COVID for government. Why is that? Why be saying our house they go to use as an experiment? It's because of the kind of governor that we have, who is meant to be exposed, cosmopolitans, right? Rubbing shoulder with the guys from Wall Street. COVID-19 was pretty much another thing. Festival was postponed. Why? Why Edo out of 36th? So a lot of things that happened that say come. I don't want today for America to know when things are actually going out of control. Majority of Edo people still living in the village. Majority of the Edo people. How many people they stay for a city? How many cities there in Edo State? Bini. Even the Awuchi said, now 10 minutes drive from my village. I mean 20 minutes drive. So majority of people still live in the village. But these people focus on Edo, say they connect Edo people with American people. Like how? What's going on? So those are the things I saw during the Obaseki. I say, hell fucking no. If we get another Obaseki, they come, we are gone. It don't finish. So I'm not the thought say Monday na Messiah. No, Monday Mahona. No, when you all they say that Tupac say revenge is the closest thing to getting pussy. You understand? So now just revenge. You think they sweet me, say illiterate, beat them. Now waiting there, now just my own be that. I know they don't Monday go turn those state off. No. But the fact say this man, all the educated community, the expertise that have been in charge for decades, gang up against this man. I said, no. It's a lie. There's something bigger that is at play here. This will be if we don't allow Monday win, and those days now they go the runner from Lagos and London, and New York. But I say, that's in fear me. My own girlfriend from afar. My girlfriend was a friend from very far. I'm talking about this one. And this one where they enjoy a political analysis. All of a sudden, they don't turn on to COVID-19 correspondent. Now that one I even pay me back. Like, why? No, you know what? You don't understand revenge. Revenge they made you educated, so-called educated class, no win again. Made the so-called engineer, the expert, no win again, so that they go learn. They have to sit and say, come on. These states now all of us get that. Not be only there we go school, where they expose, we born rich and after that get the state. No, it belongs to all of us, both those privileged and unprivileged one. You can't just focus on your class alone and leave the less privileged. So anytime we then lose, now my own fighting back with that. Don't be saying that. But yes, they turn this one to COVID-19 correspondent. Don't be saying that. See another problem we will get. Maybe this guy. I don't know why people listen to this day. He said, I don't even know why. I'm one of the dumbest person I know in terms of the media space. How you go? Why do you mean say he exposed Adesuwa? Adesuwa is an employee. Now it's a political correspondent. Then push her make it go there and analyze COVID-19. Which one be her owner? She's an employee. She's not the owner of Arise News. You know, you guys don't sit down. What it be ESS? What it be this EAE? That's another thing. See, especially we Nigerians. We don't forget our history of 30, 40 years ago. What is happened? What did they happen for Burkina Faso? All those one. It's what happened to us in the 70s. When the Americans were trying to take Nigeria away from the British. So what do you think is happening to the what's it they call them? The Russians are doing. Not just times now change. But guess what? Never gonna forget these ESS people first. Give them 5 years. So they are just moving from one lodge to another. So at this one, as a reporter, now employ the employer. They move out from political correspondent to make it go there and analyze COVID-19. That's not that doing. Make I no go. I beg, David Odeyi is brilliant. Of course, he is brilliant. If he is brilliant, they're not gonna give her the role where they play. It is brilliant to those people where no they read. That's why it's brilliant. I never see anything when he talk. Where go make it's very difficult for me to even listen to her say. These days, if they play music on the background, like people know the now just because I don't like to waste my time on those kind of people, I'm gonna bring you where they train them. The whole process of them gets to where they are. I've lost you on that one. I understand now. I understand say you are a follower of the Burundi. Now because they will not just follow politics lately. You never think about this over politics. Now that they see people like David Odeyi, David Odeyi are people that are regarded as force multipliers, right? They are called force multiplier. So you need to understand how the media system works, right? Let's say, let's use, thank God you did America. Let's use America as an example, right? Media like New York Times, right? Those publications now them be the agenda setter. They set agenda for people for media like Force, CNN, MSNBC, and the rest. There you now come in today's world, you now break it down to now the next, there's another next level again, which are the podcasters. Now those are the force multipliers. They are the third angle of the mainstream medias. But they'll be the force multipliers. Because what they do is to narrate the story that most of these experts within these medias are out there putting out. Now, how you go to understand people like Ode, so they know actually understand what they talk. Anytime when they tell a story, if unless you don't know about the subject matter, if you know about the subject matter, ask them how did they arrive at that conclusion. That's where you will lose them. Because they only listen to those people, experts within that mainstream, what they are saying. But the work that those people put in to arrive at that most of the time, that's their view is shaped by ideology or the side of the IO that they belong to, right? You know, go understand. Now, people like them will David Odeyi to understand the job that they are playing. Now, it's just like people like them, Showore, Showore, and the same role, all of them they play. It's just like they get levels there. And if I didn't work for them, you go no, I never reach. I never reach. You go no. I know that's what people say, right? People when they work for them, you go no. Ask yourself. Ask yourself, all those platforms where they feature David Odeyi, just first of all, start from those platforms. They will never invite you to those platforms if you have a contrary opinion. Now, Mama, you live in America too. You know, say if you, I don't know if you know this about the American politics. There is still north and south, just like the way they Nigeria dragging power. Then you now break it down to the migration, the race that make up America. The fight between the conservative and the rest of them, the Protestant, the Catholic, and if you don't understand those nuances, you don't understand the role with them they play. Even themselves no understand, unless they understand these nuances. Because the same way say they play for Nigeria, tribes and all that, they still playing now. Now, another angle again. I'm wrong on David Odeyi, okay? Well, see, I'm going to tell you, just pay attention to this. Another angle, another another angle where you go see where you go see the greeting everyone. I don't pursue you. All right now, thank you. I know I understand you. I understand now you're one of your go-to be that go-to source. What I'm doing is part of the grand scheme. So you now, oh, so there's a grand scheme, sir. I don't know now. What is the grand scheme? You see, so it will be like so now another angle where you go listen, where you go need to understand this them force multipliers, guys, from is the last 80 years was a struggle to create a multi-ethnic nations. America, now be the head, is to what? Create a multi-ethnic nation. That is pretty much part of the post-World War, Second World War consensus, right? That's why you see, say America, you always say, okay, Irish people, the Chinese people, the black people, everybody there, right? That was a struggle because it wasn't like that early 60s, early 70s. So that was the achievement of the last 80 years. Now, what is going on is how do we create a multicultural society, not even nation, multicultural society. Now, until you understand the fight, the agents, the people, the character, the establishment, the corporations, the nation states who are involved in this fight, you will never understand what you're talking about the video today. You understand? So there is a struggle. So what you are saying, especially where you live for California, they are the cross at the center of what is happening. At the center of what is happening today is how do we create a multicultural society? That's new, right? When we create all these so many like LGBT community, all these things is new to us. So the fight is how do we make it permanent? I remember in Dr. Damage's show one time when I thought America will be genderless by the year 2050. Everybody thought I was crazy at this too. I don't know which side they thought. But more than no worry. So that's the struggle. So the question you should ask yourself, those who are feeding Odenyi, all this, as I said, the force multiplier, which angle they belong? So the word I always talk, for you to understand what is at play today, you need to understand World War One. What led to World War One? There are so many factors that led to World War One. It's the same thing that is happening, right? Nation state, the economic ideology, the capitalists, the socialists. You see what is happening in New York. That's the future of Democratic Party. So all these things. So at the end of this decade or the next 15 years, when they don't finish their fight, they will now focus on us, the African continent again. So the idea of this year, all this ES, whatever, you will see their true color. Because again, those people who carry AES or whatever for head, may they not forget, say, what is happening today? Americans they are trying to bring Russia to them folks in order for do with Chinese, just like the way they carry Chinese people under their fold to deal with the Soviet Union. So the first meeting of Donald Trump in Putin, Alaska, that's what it's about. It was not about Ukraine. So 10 years from now, if you come here and say America and Russia are on the same bed, what will you now say of EES? Or if you say, okay, the arrangement no work out and go into full war, what do you think is going to happen? So all these things now is connected. Oh my guy, sorry, I know I'm saying a lot. I just say you don't go. Okay, what we are doing the grand, you can say every platform is on, you are free to go, but you day here day. And waiting I won't go see. If I say you know understand, waiting I won't go for. I don't now only once. When everybody they say this guy, I don't know the guy before. Everybody begin to day. I say, come, who is this guy? Send me waiting don't do. Then they send me I ain't here exposed Bola Tinubu Chicago. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like when I be children, this not be breaking news now. But I took him one day. I said, make just as what you are saying now on every platform. I was on Dr. Damenji when they first bring and come. Now only one question I answer. Me know he said something that the elite cannot relate with the poor. They lie their way of life. I said, huh. So I come on and ask him, like, this, you meant what you say? I say, yes, I know I'm part of them. Okay, I get it. All I need to know now to just listen to person, just like Showore when Showore first come up. When Showore first come up, I was like, it was very obvious to me. Say, come, this guy, nah, how can they take this guy serious like this? It was so obvious. Say, this guy no person, but no, he never too tell the begin come and say, guy, that's the way they tell me you are right. So I get it. I get it. I get the. I don't need to. Which I want to follow and talk. I only go ask people questions when I don't know what they are about. But once I know what you are about, I don't need to stress myself now. Come, this odious. Now, Nigerian man be this odious, because when you say Nigeria is back on track, that na Nigerian man rhetoric. That no be. If make I find out say now you be Nigerian man, I swear, me and Omoye go buy tickets, come fight you for London. Say whose source am I in? I don't understand. Now you they talk now, no be me involved. Whose source am I in? The question is, what are you doing about it as a Nigerian? I am educating you. That's it. As a young person, I run for Nigeria. I swear that I physically use my body work for Nigeria. I don't the old now. Make I use the small thing when I learn the teach you. It's not enough. I never make money. If I'm a billionaire, you will see my money in action. If to say now me be sure they had to get about close to $100,000 behind his Sarad reporters before he enter straight for Nigeria. Which is if they portfolio don't really some million, you know, go physically on the ground. So some things na level. You are supposed to be coming to celebrate me for my service to Nigeria. I've been serving Nigeria since I was a child. Oh, come on. Why you all do me like this now, boy? I can tell you I'm giving up completely and you're just waiting on the conveyor belt to destroy. Me? No. See, I've been Nigeria. Oh boy. Because you don't know me in person, you never meet me before. You have to understand how the country works. You know, I always advise to Nigeria leading to 2023 election. Say, if there's anything you will do for yourself this election period, pay attention to Nigeria and Nigerian politics. They are two different things. If you understand them, then you know how to attack from. You need to know where you come from. Nigeria and our world, they really play identity politics. Me and you come from minority. My goal is for them to crash and burn. That's the only way I can. That's the only way. My goal is to constantly find loopholes among this ruling elite to keep crashing, make them they fight. That's why I went to Tinubu and Dangote they fight. I was celebrating. I want them to be in confusion constantly because that's the only thing I can do. If to say I'm a billionaire, you know how many group I go to sponsor just to make sure that these people know they don't get rid of mine. That's what I can do. But as now, I don't have that capacity. As a young person, I did what I could do. I do little, and then I do little for Nigeria, even though na me be the beneficiary. All right. But today, the obvious things, the obvious difference that I've noticed is what I'm pulling out. That's what I can do. So my job is to my job is to identify who is aiding the West, who is aiding the Western capitalists. That is my job. My job is to identify them and put them out there. If I have the money to go against them physically, I will do it. But it takes money. You are also part of the problem. Of course, we are all Nigerians. Too much of a book don't come. You like sleep, wait for slaughter. No, we are all part of the problem. I know they say Nigeria is still a developing nation. So I shouldn't be proud, say, Nigeria. No, in as far my country is still a developing nation, might be a problem. Why my country still a developing nation? So I don't know why it is accusing me of that. I will see it as a no. You are fucking right. Every one of us, every Nigeria is part of the problem because we are part of the story. We are the Nigerian story, good or bad. You are not a minority because speak for yourself. I hear you. I hear you. But in reality of power, you know where you belong. So I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I don't feel I can't do otherwise. I can't do more than what I can do. So yes, it's Nigeria. What first of all is understanding where our problem is, and I am big on the Western influence because they are in control of our economy. That's it. Now, anybody that is contributing to the progress of that marriage, I'm against. Just like Obi is a successful businessman, but what did he do? He was doing what? Killing homegrown businesses so he can flourish. He's an importer. Nobody's ready to have that kind of conversation yet. But you expect me to support? I cannot support people who before during the British were physically on our head. They beat our papa, beat our mama, rape us, do everything they do just to control us. And today we're in America doing it through us. They use us. They use our media, they use our pastors, they use our farmers, they use our agberos, they use everybody that is usable. So if they don't say this person is bidding their bid, don't be surprised. Agberos have they involved. Now your own be that. Stick to the reality given to you by the same globalists. You are a reality in Nigerian power struggle. I don't know why it's not that hard or that. In the Nigerian power struggle, you are a minority. This one not be. I'm talking about reality. The power struggle. I am very, very specific. Don't take me out of context. In the power arrangement in Nigeria, you are a minority. Life. So don't be saying no be na person make me. I don't nobody need to make me understand that. I'm a Nigerian, I grew up for Nigeria. I worked in the Nigerian system as an employee at federal level. I was a civil defender. If you don't know. Nobody say I just be athlete. I was a civil defender. So I work within the Nigerian context. I know. I come from part of the country where we say at times you have to claim to be from the north before you get a job at the federal level. Now reality be that. Nobody say in a book or everybody tell me. I know. My son name na Agbaje. You know they shock you. Why? It's still the attempt for the bigger tribes to take over everything. So I am a product of my history, my dear. Nobody need to tell me where I belong. I know. Just as in the power arrangement among the Committee of Nations. As a Nigerian, I know where I belong. As a black person, I know where I belong. Nobody needs to tell me. I don't need to deceive myself. Because it's my power. It's power. If you know, that doesn't mean because you are mighty minority, then you cannot take over power. You can't take over power. But you have to understand where you are to know where you are going. As if you don't know where they go, you know where they come from. Once you understand your footing, know where you did, then you can navigate. Read our uncle. I say our uncle because of where he come from. Tony Anene memoir. Go read him book. My Life and Politics. you will love that guy. You understand Nigerian politics from a minority perspective, from an Edo person who has been at the cross of it. He was a policeman just like me before. He was a policeman before he joined business and politics took over. He rose to the top. Now, See, I can argue that he was the single-handedly human being that say Nigeria, that say Goodluck Jonathan must go again. When Obasanjo come out here in a card, Tony Anene was the senior man there now. Stood his ground. Say, hey, may I roll. Nothing go happen. Nigeria no go. Nothing go happen. Goodluck must go again. Now that's the power of minority. So when they use the word minority, you know, basically I don't use it to put us down. No, it's just for you to understand where you are standing. Then you can see clearly. Tony Anene is one person that lived that life. From where that village he come from, as a police officer, he hold the country balls by the balls. The North, they don't do him anything. the northern elites pack they say go Canada, go they do meeting, go sit down with the Barack Obama them. Because the man said, may I grow. Anything will happen, may happen. Good luck, we go again, we contest for the second time. I mean, you can argue that that's where we are now. It's responsible for where we are today, but as a power of a minority. Somewhere, no, take me out of context. We are on the same struggle. Now, it's just that we are coming from different perspective, which is okay. You know, our people tell us there are many roads to market. I mean, there are many roads to market. The revolution that we believe that will happen, if it will happen in our lifetime, that is how it's going to happen. It will happen when this convergence of different angle come together. That's what revolution is about. It's going to take evolution. So what you are saying is evolution. We disagree in ourselves. It's okay. So as far that we see the same problem, but that's the most important thing. We have to be able to see the same problem. Once we see the same problem, then we can attack it from different. Yes, Ubaja, thank you, my brother. Come, that book says, where I work rich, where I did where that, but I don't see that book. I was in Tennessee. I forget that for Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I ran for there. I don't know why they mail to me, but yeah. So the most important thing, we should able to see that we have the same problem. We are not free people economically. When you say you're not free people, say, you are blaming the West, you are blaming the West. Yeah, because you don't understand the game. It's not about blaming. It's about making you understand this is your reality. So in as far we understand that we need freedom, economic freedom, right? Then we can we always agree at one point. Just like on Obi, right? You said something that I agree. Yes, Obi might be the same, but it might be benevolent, right? You are ready to bet on that, which is good, right? Me just as it come. This man is just to compromise. Not that I'm disagreeing with you, but guess what? It will get to a point whereby maybe we don't get choice. we agree on it, but the most importantly, we should know that it's not the same journey. So the idea is that because I am not seeing it here, we are not seeing it my way. Instead of us to give ourselves time, because say, oh, you are supporting because you are getting paid. You support this person because, like, I'm not rich. I go see Obi. I was in Harvard, which is I was in Harvard to see Obi. I went close to Ram. Obi said that just to see person as a human. Let me see, and it's nothing special. It's just like every other man who wants power, and I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Just a man who wants power. It's okay. If I'm in his position, I will do the same thing. I will also go secure that kind of power too. But I just felt that instead of going little by little, let's go all the way. These people are not ready to educate us. When I mean us, the majority of Nigerians who are left out of the mainstream, none of them is ready to educate us that we will need, because we will need those forgetting villagers to carry out a revolution. Gonna then go die pass. Let's face the fact. We that are so much educated, all these are exposed. We have so many avenues to port to understand what is going on. by the time we involve these innocent people, then go die. Because it would have to take people dying before we get that kind of revolution. So nobody's ready to go and be with those people. All of them. They speaking grammar for TV. I was listening to Tanko earlier on. I was listening to Tanko on what they are doing online. Yeah, they are in Latin diasporas, everybody's speaking. I was like, I mean, am I missing something? This is what you should be doing on ground. I want to with the ESC come so local government, so there's a network like this. Like I want to see something real. But of course, this is not my way, you know. I think if they can turn 4 people tweeting in the room to 6 million, who am I to? So I'm just watching. I'm like, better will come again. But politics is still one way of doing it. The people got to be involved. Not through the people. Yes, if you use money, rig election, manipulate people, but still. So if you actually want to carry a revolution and you are just doing it on by yourself, just say without people making sacrifice. I never hear any movement take shape on its own from anywhere in the country, but they are affiliated to be. I'm not saying that. And that's the effect of network. And one of my biggest clues after the election is that I want to see obedient movement in all of the secondary schools and universities. Because the man has done that much that you can go to any school and start a movement. I can just go to any school for, I can go to the University of Benin, I can say, oh my God, justice, for electoral sanity, blah, 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 blah. But they're under obedience. Like shit like that. I don't see anything like that. So maybe there's a different way they will take with the election. I don't know. Obile believe in online polling units. So unfortunately, even Americans, even Donald Trump said don't sign an executive order to ban mail-in voting. so I don't understand. That's the closest we get to online voting, mail-in voting. So Nigerians, I don't blame the obedience. I know they blame the obedience. I was hard on the obedience before the election. After the election, I thought the leaders of the obedient movement, they will capitalize on it and just run away and leave Obi first. Obi is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Just face the media, maybe they give you backbones. It's okay. You can survive it. But there's no networking. It's as if there's no other layer of governance, of leadership, just after the Obi himself. And that was the concern I brought before Kenneth Okonkwo. Tell me, say, Obidia will just hit me for face, boy. Well, the guy, now he hit me for face, he run. Same thing with Aisha. Anyway, today it's not about obedience. Now you make me turn us to the obedient movement. But this is not me praising Tinubu for being a magician, but it's obvious to the blind that all these movements to Brazil is going to yield results. And those results, they are going to be geared towards re-election. It's as simple as that. It's a common sense. I mean, when you have a Nobel laureate in your entourage, that guy will go make case for you anywhere in the world, from Washington to London to Geneva to anywhere. That's the best person to make your case for you that the government is doing well. Then you have Okonjo-Iweala going from one corporation to another. That's it. Okonjo will handle the corporation. Soyinka will handle the heavyweight behind the scenes. And Vincent Iyama is on the home front, and Elumelu, they're on the home front. The North, they cannot do anything. They don't get choice. They will support them again. I don't try today. It's 2 hours. Thank you. Make a run. Rufa, okay. It said, why Obedience believes in snatching, grabbing, by Jesus grabbing? Yes, because he's winning. I want Obedient to do the same thing. Obedient, when they fear to do grabbing and snatching. But that's what it's going to take. On a more serious note. On a more serious note, that's what it's going to take. If the Baba idiot, as you call them, those that Obedient to have what it takes to snatch ballot balls and run. Guess what? Now lie, they don't go try out, they go do another thing. So in as far as we want to see the other way, I think that's the way to go. It's a template that is already out there, according to Dr. Ameji. So snatching ballot paper and running with it, if that is what Obedient can do, I am for it. And I believe every Nigerian will support it. Mokuna snatch Obedience supposed to get snatching boss wig. I swear to God. Come on, yeah, you the American now. You know how the mega people do them. They got all kind of fraternity. They enter university, they recruit fraternity. I expect by now Obedience go get wig of ballot boss snatchers running with victories. Ballot beavers interference, whatever we now call on our squad. After all, Bola Tinubu get Jagaban army. No, don't forget Jagaban army during the 2023 election. Come on, yeah. We there now with the Lord Jagaban army. So I don't see why Obedient cannot form their own wing of army ballot snatchers and running away the victory. I don't see that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. Even I think they want to go use grammar, gentleman. After I don't rig the election finish, we'll go demonstrate, we'll go protest. It's not going to work. Exactly. Nigerians are in support. We are all snatching and grabbing. Now you are talking. Now you they talk. Person comes you they walk out for the person slap you, come out and cry. Now babe, now girl like you, nice slap. You know we say now one, you know slap am back. If not, you go slap you again tomorrow. That's why I vex say Obedience are not active in this by-election that is taking place in state election. Now they wanna go practice am. Make them know say come oh. We ready. No, I'm in support with that. That's the only gentleman. My tactics has been retired. Thank you. Now waiting I wanted a year be that. But make it not just be rhetoric. What could they display? I won't wake up one morning. Make I hear say some red barret people, some young in their thousands, like 2,000 people don't spring off on one corner and say they be obedient. The ballot snatchers army. I want to hear that headline one day. Say like group of 500 people of every tribe, whatever, just assemble one place. Say we are the obedient ballot snatcher. Like for real. May they know say something they. Because that's what Tinubu used. Tinubu get militant every nook. You know say Tinubu get Agbero over everywhere. It's part of it. If he don't get all those things, he no go fit us wrong, grab it and run away with it. He has it. Atiku cannot do it because he doesn't have full soldiers. That is one of the criticism against Atiku today. He don't get militant. Buhari had to get militant. Even though I claim Boko Haram, he claim them. Don't kill Boko Haram, they are my people. He had to do it. So be the gentleman, you see, make I support him. After election, he go sit down for London with the family, the flex. I can't do that. There is a winning already. There's a win already. Thank you. I want to hear these kind of things. Tinubu don't show us the way. That's all. That's the only way. There's no other way. Money and fear gives power. Money and fear gives power. So now these are the things. Me self don't wait to hear. No, for real. Because now the time when we did be that. See, who after 2027 election, we now go see the way the North go take come in to this game. And die. It's power. You say if you see I'm not during this last election of America, just fear everywhere. Because nobody knows what will happen. The Democrats know say if they do anyhow, the Republicans are ready to go. The Republicans are ready to say anything where like everybody was ready. That's why those who advocated for First Amendment in the commandment in the Constitution, that's what it's about. That for you to actually protect your freedom, your republic, you have to have a control militia. He's not talking about having a military arm, national guard, that have the control militia. Control militia means every city, every well-meaning being citizen should have a gun. That is a control militia. Militants who can control themselves. That means every responsible citizen should have a gun. That is the only way you can protect your free speech and freedom. The Americans understand that. That's why you say how tense, even how tense this election, this 2012 election was. Everybody behave. I was in Florida. All the sheep, everybody ready to move. They say the country will explode because everybody was armed. So if the bad people are ready to snatch ballots, they know that the obedience are equal to the tax. My sister, then everybody go to strategize. We go to beg ourselves. Now that we go to compete, now that we go to debate. We know the debate now. Now debate now one-sided. Now only Obi they criticize the government. The rest people are not ready to respond because the power no balance. One person has a monopoly of weapons, has a monopoly of violence, has a monopoly of printing money. That's why you see all this. The days of gentlemen don't go. It is the turn of what? A strong God. A book written by Rere Reno. Maybe Reno Mokrio. Rere Reno. Son of a strong God. Now strong man they read now. That's what President Trump represents. Power. The guy collect bullet, he collect everything. I want to build down. Because now power you won't collect that from another person's hand. I won't collect power. So I won't steal your heart now. I have to prepare. I have to read. I have to deserve all means. Because I know you put up your own guard. If I know say you be lose woman, I don't need to prepare now. Eh? If I don't say I'm gonna lose guard, I don't go prepare now. I'll send you a ticket. You will fall in. But I know say you are guarded. I go begin study. Where is she coming from? Where is she? Where she go? Where's she up to? What can she do? What she say? Like I'll put in work. But when I know say you lose guard, okay, I'll come run you over now. That's exactly the Tunubus know say Obi no get militant. Say all those are militant are online the day. That's why they go and steal it. They cannot transfer aggression online to physical. You know they work like that overnight. He knows. He knows. Because there are so many interests. If they run for president today, let's say they run for governor of Edo State today, I go say, I go support your campaign with $1 million. When you enter power finish, I go say, come. No, I don't want may you put nose for matter where they happen for my local government to my village. Because I won't collect land. The 100 million, I want to use that buy land. They don't want to sell land for me. For that reason, I will use and support you. Once you get power finish, I don't want to hear you. Not to go import bandits. Where they can keep people from my village, collect their land. And you go look the other way around. That's how it works. People would insult you. Ah, idiot. Now your boyfriend, you don't enter power finish. You two, you don't go be talk. Because you know the role I play and you come into power. So because of those tendencies, it's always very brutal. If you don't have what it takes, don't stay on the regular crush you. It's as dangerous. It's a matter of life and death. Now only we the people, now we don't understand that. Those people where they are the front, they know because their money is involved. Our money is not involved. So they have more to lose. Anyway, thank you. Okay, come on here. So go be. So the 2.2 billion that they are going to invest from Brazil, how many percent of that money is going to go into election? That's the question before us.